Now imagine that you've just broken up with a narcissist. You want peace, closure, and a chance to get better. You are hit with something surprising instead, something scary. Once, the narcissist said they loved you, but now they want you to disappear or even die, which is very upsetting. That comment is shocking and so far-fetched that it's hard to understand. Why would someone who used to be so lovely and interesting think this way about you? The real reason for such a strong reaction has a lot to do with the dark and twisted mind of narcissism. We're going to look at the scary truth about why a narcissist might want you to die in this movie. Why would someone who used to need you to boost their ego now want you to leave their life right away? Truth be told, many people have been through this. It may sound too shocking to be true. Stay tuned until the end of this video to find out the scary and often secret reasons behind this harmful desire. Believe me, you won't want to miss the truth about what narcissists think when they lose something or are turned down. Before we get into this scary subject, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with people you know who may be having trouble with selfish relationships. Don't miss the information that can help you find your way through the tricky and dangerous world of narcissistic abuse. Now let's begin. The ego of a narcissist is like a fragile shell that needs to be constantly strengthened and cared for so it doesn't break. It's a carefully put together front that comes from the narcissist's endless need for approval, power over others, and admiration. Behind this smooth appearance, though, is a deep-seated void that the narcissist can't fill even by themselves. At their core, they deal with the feeling of not being worthy and a strong belief that they are not worthy at all. The narcissist can't stand how empty they feel inside, so they depend on outside sources, like the people around them, to keep feeding their fragile sense of importance and power. They keep looking for acceptance from other people because they need it all the time. But no matter how much they get, it's never enough to quiet the deep insecurity they feel. The narcissist tries very hard to hide this feeling of not being good enough, which makes them very afraid of being left alone and losing things. They become a living, breathing thing with fear when you decide to leave, reject, or cut off the link. Narcissists fear losing power over you more than anything else. If they can't control you, they don't see any value in you. They've spent a lot of time and energy building up their personality, which is based on controlling and manipulating other people. They feel like they've lost a part of themselves when they lose that power. This loss is terrible, and it sets off a chain of emotions that they can't seem to handle in a healthy way. For them, losing you is more than just a split or a rejection. It's the end of the world. In the narcissist's skewed view, the thought of you having a life without their control is not only upsetting, it's downright scary. They feel so weak when they think about how well your life is going without them. Their idea of reality is that they should always be the center of attention and the leader of everyone else's world. They see your independence, power, and refusal to be controlled as direct threats to this reality. This deep fear and worry is not about love or caring about your well-being. It has to do with power and control. Narcissists see love as a business deal and a way to gain power. When they can't handle that power, they start to see you as a threat because you're taking away the control they need to feel whole. The narcissist doesn't want you to be strong or free. They want you to depend on them and do what they say. These people will do everything they can to get control back if you refuse, or, even worse, if you leave. Most of the time, a narcissist gets very angry when they are rejected, betrayed, or lose control. For them, the thought of being laughed at or ignored hurts so much. Nothing they've worked so hard to make is safe from this attack. It makes them feel bad about themselves and hurts their carefully built sense of being better. For them, being turned down is not just a bad feeling. It's an insult that can't be forgiven. They think that you owe them everything because they have given you their time and attention, and you should never leave them or question their power. They feel like their bloated sense of self-worth is being directly attacked when you stand up for yourself or decide to leave. This makes them very angry or upset. In their twisted world, it's hard to forgive anyone who they think has betrayed them. In this case, it turns into something that needs to be revenged or punished. Their ego can't stand the thought of being made to feel weak or small. For a narcissist, the only way to get things back in balance is to take back control, and if necessary, get even. If they can't get back in charge by tricking or forcing someone, they may step up their game and try even harsher methods to retake control. Not only do they want you back, but they also want to show everyone that they are still in charge and have power. One of the scariest things about working with a narcissist is that they often have a twisted need for revenge. It can show up in many ways, from trying to trick you into going back to more extreme, angry actions. But the narcissist always wants to tell you and everyone else that they are still in charge, no matter what strategy they use. When a narcissist is rejected, they react in a darker, more frightening way. Narcissism is based on intense, deeply hidden self-loathing, that the narcissist does everything they can to hide from everyone else. They may act cocky, smug, and self-important, but deep down they hate themselves so much. This painful reminder of their own flaws and failure to live up to the idealized version of themselves they have made is self-loathing. The narcissist often puts their feelings of not being good enough on other people and blames them for their own flaws. When you turn them down, they can't hide the fact that they hate themselves. In their twisted mind, they might see your strength, your freedom, and your ability to move on from them as traits they dislike about themselves. Your ability to let go and be happy without them makes them feel even worse about themselves and makes them hate themselves even more. This terrible self-hatred is what makes them want you to be gone. They may feel temporarily better if you are not around to tell them of how badly they are doing, but this is only a short-term and unhealthy escape from their inner turmoil. The narcissist doesn't want you to be gone for any healthy or logical reason. It's a direct response to the intense emotional pain they feel from being rejected. If you're gone, they think they won't have to face the truth about how inadequate they are, which might give them a short break from their deep inner battles. But this happiness doesn't last long. Narcissists will never be at peace because they can't fully fill the void they feel inside, and the wound you left behind will never fully heal. Instead, they will keep looking for new relationships and sources of approval to try to fill the hole. But nothing will ever take away the pain of losing someone they thought would be there for them and feed their fragile ego. They are always afraid that no one else will love them as much as you did. And no matter how many new people they meet, none of them will be able to replace you or the support you gave them. The projection that narcissists do is not a planned or logical way of thinking. Instead, it's an instant emotional response that comes from them not being able to process and control the intense inner turmoil they feel. Narcissists believe they are always flawed and insecure, but they can't face or admit it. They choose to project their flaws onto others instead of dealing with their own, which is often a bad and destructive thing to do. It's a way for them to show other people what they can't accept about themselves. One of the worst and most dangerous effects of this projection is the strong desire for you to die or disappear from their life completely. It comes from a lot of mental pain that the narcissist doesn't want to deal with. In order to avoid facing their own weaknesses, they use this painful defense strategy, which can have terrible results. Narcissists often feel very entitled to what they have. They think that everyone should love, respect, and admire them no matter what, and that the world should revolve around them. This sense of privilege is not just a wish, it's what people expect. These people don't think that what they want is unreasonable. They think that it is their right to have it done. For them, it feels like you are taking something that belongs to them when you reject them, set limits, or just refuse to do what they want. This feeling of being wronged because you won't do what they want can turn into an unhealthy and possibly dangerous addiction. The narcissist thinks they deserve your love, care, and obedience so much that anything less feels like an attack on their sense of how important they are. The narcissist thinks that your rejection is a terrible mistake. You were meant to be their steady source of approval, their emotional support system, and in a lot of ways their captive audience. If you stop being that person or being there for them in the way they expect, They will feel cheated and disrespected. They think they are the most important thing in the world, and everyone else should revolve around them. They feel like their ego is being hit hard by the thought that you would leave them, refuse them, or ignore their attempts to control you. It breaks their false sense of how important they are. Not only do they feel rejected, but it also makes them question who they are and their worth. Narcissists often think they have been wronged in ways that need to be fixed, because they feel so entitled to everything. In the worst situations, they might think that the only way to get things back to what they think is normal is for you to disappear from their life totally. Their skewed view of justice says that getting rid of you or not having you around at all is the only way to make things normal. They might even think that getting rid of you is the only way to get control of the situation again. When someone has this skewed view of justice, they see themselves as the victim and you as the attacker. This can show up in scary thoughts and actions. In some cases, the narcissist may be planning something bad, as they try to get you out of their life in the worst ways possible. One of the scariest things about narcissism is that they have no understanding at all. People who are narcissists can't understand or care about the mental pain they cause others. They don't care about the pain they cause unless it directly helps them reach their goals or meet their wants. The way they act when they lose someone they used to control, or who is an important part of their carefully curated world, shows how little humanity they have. For a narcissist, the most important thing is their own mental survival, not how their actions affect other people. Their pain, suffering, or distress doesn't matter much to them, because it doesn't affect their ability to control, influence, or justify their own existence. Narcissists can't see that the people they take advantage of are human. They only see people as things that can be used, controlled, or thrown away when they are no longer needed. Narcissists don't want you to die, or be gone from their life forever, because they care about your well-being. There's no real reason for them to want to hurt you personally or emotionally. You see them as an item, not a person with feelings, thoughts, and emotions. You were once useful, but now you are either useless or a threat to their sense of control. They see your worth as depending on how well you can meet their wants. And once you can't, they see you as useless. Whatever it takes, they will do anything to get back the power and approval you once gave them. They will lie, cheat, and hurt you to make things right for them. They don't care about how you're feeling. In a world they think is meant to help them, all they care about is staying alive. The narcissist's lack of humanity makes their behavior unpredictable and possibly very dangerous. Because they can't feel the standard shame or guilt that would make most people stop doing bad things. They don't think twice about breaking the rules of what is and isn't okay to do. They are ready to do anything to protect their weak ego and feel good about themselves again, even if it hurts other people. Their own pain is more important to them than the pain they cause others, and they may even do bad things to feel better. In their twisted view of the world, anything they do to protect their weak sense of self-worth is okay, even if it hurts other people. The narcissist sees your pain as just another thing they have to deal with in order to stay emotionally stable. They can't understand how you feel because they are too focused on their own need for approval and power. This is what makes them so dangerous when they are turned down or lose someone they used to control. Their failure to deal with their feelings in a healthy way, along with their strong sense of entitlement and lack of empathy, makes them very willing to manipulate, hurt, or even destroy you in order to keep their ego up. Because their sense of self-worth is so weak, they will do anything to protect it, even if it means putting your health at risk. Thanks for watching this movie and learning with me about how scary narcissism really is. The disturbing reasons narcissists may want you to die show what's really going on in their minds. Knowing these reasons can help you stay safe from their harmful behavior. Remember that your health and safety should always come first when you're with a narcissist. Don't let their power, manipulation, or bad intentions change your life. Please like, subscribe, and share this movie with anyone who might need it. Keep the talk going by leaving your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Let's continue to help each other through these tough times. Glad you could join me today. See you in the next film.